Have you ever needed confirmation so badly you almost missed the miracle standing right in front of you? Like the sign you were begging for was already in motion, but you couldn't see it yet because your fear was louder than your faith? That's Moses. He had heard God's voice in the fire, seen the staff become a serpent, watched his hand turn leprous and be restored, miracle after miracle, proof after proof, and still he doubted, still he hesitated, still he said, "Please, Lord, send someone else." And if that feels too familiar, if that's hitting somewhere deep right now, if you've been paralyzed waiting on one more sign, would you do something simple but powerful? Drop a comment. Hit like. It might seem small, but this moment might be the sign someone else was waiting for, that God still sends help. Because here's what God didn't do. He didn't take the calling away. He didn't scrap the mission or find someone better. He just multiplied the support. Fine, God says. Your brother Aaron is already on his way. He's the mouth. You be the message. Enter divine partnership. Not a solo mission, not a spotlight story, but a shared obedience. Moses returns to Jethro, his father-in-law, and asks for permission to leave. And don't rush past that. This is not a man crashing into his calling with ego. This is a man walking humbly, honoring the place that sheltered him, even as he steps toward the place that shaped him. And just in case Moses needed one more assurance, God gives it. All the men who were seeking your life in Egypt, they're dead. Let that sink in. The Pharaoh who hunted you, gone. The past that held you hostage, over. God isn't just sending Moses back, he's clearing the way first. And here's the beauty. Before Moses ever gets to Egypt, Aaron is already walking toward him, because God doesn't just call, he connects, he orchestrates, he aligns. He told Aaron to go, and when they meet, there's no tension, no passive aggression. No, where have you been all these years? They just embrace, they kiss, and they walk forward together. That's kingdom partnership. God says, you'll be as God to him, and he'll be your mouth. One carries the authority, the other the articulation, and together they carry out the miracle. But then, verses 24 to 26, a moment that feels jarring, like it doesn't belong. God meets Moses on the road and almost kills him. Why? Because Moses hadn't circumcised his son. Because before you carry the covenant publicly, you have to walk in it privately. God was saying, you can't preach obedience and ignore it at home. You can't represent my name while bypassing my commands. Even the hidden places, especially the hidden places, must come under my rule. And Zipporah, Moses' wife, steps in. She takes a flint knife. She circumcises their son. She calls Moses a bridegroom of blood. It's raw, it's gritty, but it's holy, because holiness isn't always clean. Sometimes it's messy, sometimes it bleeds, but it always sets you apart. And from that moment forward, Moses is marked, ready, aligned. Finally, he and Aaron gather the elders of Israel. Aaron speaks, Moses performs the signs. And the people, they believe, but not just because of the miracles, because of the mercy. They hear the words of a God who says, I've seen your suffering, I've heard your cries, and I've come down to rescue. So hear this, wherever you are in the story. You might be Moses, called but unsure. You might be Aaron, sent to stand beside someone else. You might be the one needing help, or the one sent to help. Either way, the call is bigger than your comfort. The mission is soaked in mercy. And when you walk in obedience, even with shaking hands and unfinished sentences, God confirms his word with power. So stop waiting for everything to be perfect. You have a staff in your hand, a calling in your bones, and a God who goes before you. Now walk.